Welcome everyone to the Berserk League. We have Omnic and Zeth facing off today on Italy to see who takes the win. Zeth holds a slim lead in their head-to-head history. He actually managed to win their most recent match just a few minutes ago. It'll be interesting to see if Omnic can turn the tide early on here. We're all squared up now, a total deadlock. Both are fighting uphill after some tough outings earlier today. Zeth is leaning forward with that 2-1 advantage. He's definitely carrying that confidence over from their previous encounter. These two are practically mirror images right now. It's a total toss-up who will blink first. Neither player has much momentum after their recent tough runs today. Zeth pushes ahead again, taking a 3-2 lead. Omnic answers back, bringing us right back to level. They are practically identical in the ratings right now. The pace is really picking up. That last exchange was almost instantaneous. Zeth has really struggled with his overall consistency today, coming into this with a 10-26 record over the last day. Well, it seems he's finally found a way to break through. If he keeps this pace up, he might actually put this game away early. What a stand! He's completely shifted the energy of this match with another victory. Omnic just cleans that up completely to keep things interesting heading into the swap. Zeth takes a nice 8-4 cushion into the swap. He's certainly making the most of this map. He really seized control during that 4-round streak to put Omnic on the defensive. Let's see if Omnic finds some gear. Omnic is still chasing a comeback, trailing 5-8. Zeth hasn't looked quite as sharp as he did against Aster. What a battle! He managed to fight through a lot of damage to secure his second straight round. He is starting to close that gap down. Zeth is staring down a 3-round lead now. That was an incredibly fast exchange to reclaim control. Zeth is firmly in the driver's seat at 10-6. He's really dominating this Pacific series. He's just completely untouchable right now, walking away from this encounter without losing a single point of health. Omnic manages to put another point on the board, continuing to fight back. Omnic is really starting to put some pressure on Zeth, who has completely lost his lead in this particular exchange. He is on fire right now, putting together a 3-game round to seriously threaten the lead. Zeth was looking so steady right before the swap. Unbelievable. He has completely taken over the match with 4 straight wins. He's finally shake off the rust and playing like the higher rated seed. What a surge. He's completely erased that deficit and the score is now dead even. He's just completely refusing to let his opponent breathe. He's just unstoppable right now, taking full control as he reaches match point. Simply a different level of execution right now. Absolute chaos. Zeth manages to climb back into this, forcing the series into overtime. Total reset. We're back to a complete stalemate. What a brawl! Omnic barely survives that exchange to claw back a lead in this overtime thriller. Just a tiny bit of health left on him there. They are refusing to let each other pull away, trading rounds back and forth in the most intense way possible. Zeth is really putting the pressure on now, making it a 2-round lead in this extra time. simply will not go away, staying incredibly sharp to level things up at 14-all. Absolutely clinical execution to get back in this. What a reflex! He just completely shut the door on that encounter, putting himself one step closer to victory. A lightning fast reaction from the underdog, putting the pressure right back on Zeth. Zeth regains the upper hand, leading 16-15. Omnic claws back, making it a dead heat at 16. Omnic edges ahead by a single point. Now, a huge swing in momentum for the current leader. Omnic is pulling away now, holding an 18-16 advantage. A huge shift from how these two started the day. Omnic is really running away with this, sitting pretty at 19-16. He really dug deep to secure that victory after falling behind for so long. Zeth put up a hell of a fight in overtime, truly a battle. Welcome everyone, Aster and Omnic are stepping onto red line to see who can claim more rounds today. Aster comes in with a massive historical lead, winning 75% of their total encounters. That long-term dominance is something Omnic really has to overcome if he wants to shift the momentum here. He's simply on another level right now, sweeping this early phase with a perfect start. Everything about this opening set suggests the favorite is in full control. Unreal. Aster barely survives that exchange, managing to shut Omnic down from the ramp. That's already the second time today that Aster has slammed him. A total shutout. He's simply outclassing his opponent in every exchange right now. He is simply an immovable wall right now, extending that perfect run to 6. Omnic is really struggling to find an answer for that ranking gap. He's completely untouchable, moving to a 7-round lead with total ease. The gap between these two on the ladder is showing right now. Goodness, that was a scramble. He nearly threw it away, but manages to edge out the win to make it 8 straight. Finally, some resistance as Omnic finds his mark from the ramp. That's a big shift in energy for someone sitting at rank 33. Esther has been on a tear today with 28 wins in the last 24 hours. That's a level of consistency that makes it almost impossible for Omnic to find a foothold. We're seeing a huge disparity in confidence between these two right now. Aster goes into the break with a huge 11-1 lead. And honestly, this is exactly how the match was projected to go. He's just too sharp for Omnic right now. Let's see a new response here. What a scrap! He barely manages to scrap through that exchange with a sliver of health left. That was a nail-biter, just barely getting the edge there. A completely clean shot puts him just one win away from victory. Omnic secures another point, refusing to let the match end without a fight. Still a huge hill for the underdog to climb. He just keeps fighting back, snagging another round to stave off the loss for now. He is really fighting for his life here. And that's it. He clears the final round to seal the victory. He just continues to act as a nightmare matchup for Omnic, proving once again that he owns this rivalry. Welcome to the Berserk League. We have Aster and Zeth facing off today on orange to see who comes out on top. Aster is boasting a massive win rate of 75% on this specific map. It really highlights why he entered this duel as the clear favorite. Zeth is definitely the underdog here, so he'll need to shake off that early loss if he wants to steal a few rounds. Aster holds the lead, but Zeth is fighting back. He's showing exactly why he's ranked much higher on the ladder. Aster is just not giving Zeth any room to breathe right now. The experience difference is glaring between a top 15 player and someone like Zeth. Another quick kill for Aster, who's now completely taken over this opening stretch. Zeth is showing some real grit, shutting that door and clawing back into the game. Aster is currently holding a massive lead in their overall head-to-head history. Well, it's certainly making a difference in how he's controlling this specific duel. The question now is if Zeth can find a way to turn this around after that last encounter between them. Unbelievable, he barely clings to life there, barely edging out his opponent in a total slugfest. He's refusing to back down, securing another quick point to keep this rally going. The gap is closing fast as we head toward the half. Aster keeps a healthy 3-round cushion over Zeth. He's certainly looking more comfortable than during that loss on fast aim. Aster takes a comfortable 8-4 lead into the break. I mean, things are playing out exactly as we anticipated given their ratings. He has a solid grip on the map right now. Let's see if Zeth can rally. What a scramble! He barely walks away from that firefight with his life. His 28-7 run today shows why he's the favorite. What a scramble! Zeth survives a brutal exchange from the ramp by a hair. The lower ranked player is proving to be a tough opponent today. Aster extends his lead to 9-6 after that burst. Zeth is clearly playing with a lot of confidence right now. Aster just pushes his advantage further to 10-6. He's really putting that rank advantage into play. Aster is really putting the pressure on now, quickly erasing that mini comeback Zeth tried to mount. Zeth is refusing to go quietly, keeping himself right in the mix. The underdog is really fighting to keep this match alive. Zeth is really putting on a show right now, refusing to let Aster close this out quickly. Zeth just won't let up, securing his 3rd straight point as he continues this fierce recovery. He is on absolute fire, extending his run to 4 straight as the momentum shifts entirely. He halts that momentum instantly with a perfect shot to put himself 1 step closer to victory. Zeth is showing incredible heart, securing a flawless kill to keep himself in this contest. What a finale! Aster closes it out with a crisp shot to take the victory. Zeth pushed him to the absolute limit today, but the experience finally tipped the scales in the end. What a battle! Welcome everyone to Mappas. We have Omnic and Zeth facing off to see who can take the win today. Zeth holds a clear historical advantage on this map, with a 43% win rate. It's a stark contrast to how he's been performing in his last couple of matches. He'll need to find some confidence quickly if he wants to flip the script on Omnic. Omnic is putting the pressure on with a 2-1 lead. That's another win for the a priori favorite. The pace is just blistering right now. These encounters are ending almost instantly. He's staying sharp after that tough series against Aster. Zeth really capitalized on that mistake, dragging Omnic right off the container to level things back up. He is certainly fighting to avoid a repeat of that Italy result. We've hit a complete deadlock at 3-all. He's playing for pride after that rough 10-27 run today. Omnic regains control, pushing the lead to 4-3. He's looking to build some serious momentum after that recent victory on Italy. The consistency is incredible right now. They're just swapping rounds back and forth. Zeth just edge ahead, taking a slender 5-4 lead. He looks much more settled than he did in the match against Aster. Zeth is simply untouchable right now, securing a hat-trick of rounds without breaking a sweat. That's a massive swing compared to their previous outing on Italy. A total shutdown. He takes full control of this map as the first half nears its end. He's absolutely cruising into the break. Zeth takes an 8-4 lead into the break. Well, the slight pre-match favorite is definitely struggling to keep up. That 5-round burst really put the opposition on their heels. Time to see if Omnic reacts. Zeth has completely shifted the energy of this series and is firmly in control. It's quite a turnaround considering he has the lower overall rating of the two. He needs to keep this pressure up to close out the map quickly. He's simply too quick for the opposition right now, extending his lead to 11. Zeth looks far more comfortable here than in that last Italy clash. A huge trade of damage there, but he survives the exchange and reaches match point. Just can't find a way to stop this momentum. What a way to end it. He closes the door on this series with an effortless final play. He really just stepped up and made a statement with that performance. Total dominance from start to finish. Welcome to Dunes. Aster and Omnic are stepping up for this one, with Aster entering as the heavy favorite. Aster has absolutely dominated this rivalry with a 75% win rate over their history, and we're seeing that gap in skill manifest right now. It's tough for Omnic to find an answer when Aster is coming off such a high win rate today. We'll see if Omnic can shake the nerves. Aster is cruising, but Omnic just clawed one back. He's really trying to erase that memory of the 13-4 blowout earlier. Unreal. That was a complete war of attrition, and Aster barely crawls across the finish line. He's definitely putting those ranking differences on display today. Omnic is still hanging in there at 3-2. Omnic is definitely playing with a lot more confidence than his ranking suggests. Aster secures the height advantage on that box to push his lead further. The lower seed is really struggling to keep pace. Aster is having a monstrous run today with 29 wins in his last few series. It's clear he's carrying that momentum into this duel, as he just seems a step ahead in every engagement. Now we have to see if Omnic can actually find a way to break his rhythm. Aster is pulling way ahead now, leading 6-3. He's firmly in control despite the pressure. The speed of these exchanges is incredible. Aster is just consistently faster on the trigger right now. A perfect shot closes that out, giving Aster a massive head start heading into the intermission. Aster takes a heavy 9-3 lead into the break. I mean, he's just playing exactly how we expected. That 4-round streak really put the wind out of Omnic's sails early on. Time to switch sides. Omnic earns another, but Aster still holds a 9-4 grip. The gap in rating is obvious, but he's still flashing some sparks. Another point for Omnic, but Aster still up 9-5. The rank 35 slot is fighting for survival here. Aster is really tightening his grip on this match, answering back immediately to keep Omnic at bay. Aster is just too fast for him, moving toward a very quick conclusion here. His consistency across the board is just undeniable tonight. He secures the vantage point on that box to put himself a single round away from victory. Absolute speed from him on those entries. What a finish! He survives a fierce trade to close the series with a final score of 13-5. Another dominant showing from the favorite, and he just seems to have his number in this rivalry. Welcome to Berserk League. We're on Italy for this match, with Aster taking on Zeth in a huge showdown. Aster has looked unbelievable today with a 29-7 record over the last 24 hours. It's clear he's carrying a massive amount of confidence into this server. Zeth needs to find a way to slow things down quickly, or this could turn into a long afternoon. Zeth holds a narrow lead with 2 rounds up. It's quite a contrast for him given their historical head-to-head record. A completely different story now as Zeth takes total control of the map. Zeth is fighting the trend of his historical record here. Absolute crushing momentum now as he secures a 4th straight round. The lower ranked player is putting on a real exhibition here. He's just completely untouchable right now, erasing any hope of a comeback for his opponent. Finally, a response from Aster, who quickly takes this one to stay in it. It's a strong showing from the higher rated player today. Zeth has already dropped a lot of ground in his last 24 hours with that 11-25 record, and honestly, this performance is a complete reversal of the usual trend. We're seeing him finally break a long string of losses against this opponent. Zeth is dominating, leading the series 7-3. It's a tough climb for the rank 36 player to maintain this lead. Aster just can't find any answers for Zeth today, who looks completely comfortable with his lead. Zeth is sitting comfortably on a 9-3 lead. Well, this is exactly the kind of shock we were hoping for. It is rare to see the number 36 ranked player look this much better than his opponent. Time to switch it up. Aster finally claws back one more to make it 4-9. Zeth has been fighting an uphill battle throughout his career against this opponent. Zeth is still firmly in the driver's seat at 9-5. The momentum is shifting back toward the favorite now. He's simply refusing to back down, putting 3 in a row on the board. Incredible! He keeps this surge moving with a perfectly clean shot to secure a 4th straight win. The resurgence is real. He's just strung together 5 straight rounds to put some serious pressure on Zeth. The gap in the rankings is finally starting to show. Unbelievable. He's completely erased the deficit to bring this set level. A total deadlock now as we head into a dead heat. He's completely taken over the map, securing a 7th consecutive round with an effortless spray. Zeth finally breaks that surge to bring the score level. Zeth continues to outplay his usual historical numbers in this set. Aster is showing some serious grit, taking a quick duel to edge ahead 11-10. We are completely deadlocked now. Neither player can keep a lead for more than 1 round. Zeth puts a stop to that momentum and puts himself just 1 round away from victory. He's outplaying every expectation the odds gave him. What a finish! Zeth closes it out with a perfect shot to secure the victory. He really had to dig deep for that one, but the underpowered side of this rivalry finally gets a win. What a fight! Welcome everyone to Redline. We have Omnic and Zeth facing off today to see who takes the win. A total scramble for space there, but Omnic was just a hair faster in that trade on the ramp. He's trying to shake off a really rough string of losses. Omnic is coming into this with a rough stretch, having dropped his last 3 matches in a row. That struggle is showing here against an opponent who already feels comfortable beating him. It'll be tough to shift that momentum if he can't find an early lead. Another clean sweep for Zeth, who is absolutely taking over the map. Zeth is proving his previous dominance from their last encounter. He's just far too fast for the opposition right now, continuing this a devastating run. The favorite is looking completely lost right now. Zeth effortlessly picks him off the ramp to extend this lead further. The 36th seed is really struggling to find any answers. Omnic finally strikes back with a clean kill on the ramp. The favorite is finally starting to show some life. Zeth holds the upper hand in their overall history with over 250 total wins. You know, seeing that level of long-term success makes it feel natural that he's the one controlling the pace of this particular match. It's really becoming a question of whether Omnic can close the distance. Omnic manages to find Zeth on the ramp, keeping the pressure on as we head toward the double digits. Zeth is firmly in control at 8-3. It's an uphill battle for the player the odds were leaning toward. Zeth goes into the break with a commanding 9-3 lead. Honestly, Omnic looked like the better bet before the game, but Zeth is completely disregarding the odds right now. Time for a total reset. Zeth continues the onslaught, quickly clearing him off the ramp to really tighten the screws here. The gap in their recent form is becoming incredibly evident. Zeth just pushed his lead to a massive 10-4. The momentum is shifting just a bit as we enter these final rounds. Unreal, he survives by a thread after dragging himself through that firefight on the ramp. A huge shift in momentum for this one. He just can't stop this run, picking Zeth off the ramp to make it 3 straight. The ladder positioning between these two is practically identical. What a scramble! He barely escapes that exchange to push his win streak to 4. Zeth hasn't looked this vulnerable since his last outing against Esther. Unbelievable! He's now surged through 5 straight rounds to bring this game within striking distance. Absolute insanity! He just tore through another round from the ramp to keep this streak alive. Absolutely stunning. Omnic has completely erased the deficit to bring us dead even. A brutal exchange there, but he manages to edge out the win and keeps this incredible rally going. Man, it is simply a different game for him right now. Zeth answers back immediately to bring everything level. The rating between these two is practically identical. He's digging deep and claims another one, putting himself just a single round away from victory. Zeth is fighting a fierce battle to stay in this. What a statement to end the regulation half. We are headed to overtime. Both of these guys have had a long day in the server. The pace of these rounds is just incredible. Zeth is really starting to seize control of the overtime a second time. He's had a grueling 12-hour slog in the server today. Omnic is simply refusing to break, picking Zeth off the ramp to keep this deadlocked. The pressure is peaking for both of these guys now. just won't back down, punishing Zeth from the ramp to take a narrow lead. He's truly capitalizing on his status as the favorite here. It's a total stalemate at this point, and you can feel the tension building with every single exchange. Both of these players are fighting hard to bounce back from a rough 24 hours. Zeth is back in the driver's seat, shutting down that rally with a perfect shot. Zeth is reacting quickly to put himself right back in front. Good grief, Omnic claws his way back to a tie after an absolute war of attrition. He's really digging into his reserves to keep this series alive. Zeth edges ahead by 1, firmly clutching a 16-15 advantage. Zeth holds a slim 2-round lead at 17-15. It's becoming a familiar story for these two. Zeth is really pulling away with an 18-15 lead. The momentum is swinging wildly back toward the other side. Zeth is looming large with a commanding 19-15 grip. He managed to claw his way back through that incredible 8-round stretch, but it just wasn't enough to seal the deal. Truly a brutal way to end the day. What a fight! Welcome to the arena. Aster and Omnic are ready to go, though Aster enters this one as the strong favorite. Aster's dominance here is staggering, holding a 75% win rate in their head-to-head history, and seeing how poorly Omnic has played throughout the day, this feels like a predictable trend. It'll be a long climb for the underdog to claw back into this one. Omnic is fighting back, trailing Aster by just 1. The skill gap between them is showing on the ladder right now. Omnic is trading blows with him, refusing to just fade away in this early set. The number 36 rated player is making this feel like a fair fight. Omnic has snatched the lead, pushing ahead 3-2. He's really shaking off those losses from earlier today. He's completely taken over the match, putting a grip on this series with 3 straight. Something is definitely off for the number 14 seed right now. A frantic exchange, but Omnic manages to scrap through with a 4th straight victory. Everything is going against the 14 seed right now. Unreal Aster survives a brutal exchange by a hair to keep this match moving. That was an incredibly narrow escape to get back on the board. Omnic has been struggling with a 12-22 record over the last day. It's clear he's carrying a massive amount of confidence into this particular match. He's simply ignoring those historical struggles to put his opponent on the ropes. What a scrap! He just barely clings on with a sliver of health to keep this run alive. Another absolute nail-biter from the favorite. Omnic is firmly in control with a 7-4 lead. That was a lightning fast kill to put the pressure back on. Omnic holds a 7-5 lead going into the break. I mean, the script has completely flipped here. It's surprising to see Aster struggling this much given their massive head-to-head advantage. Let's see if Aster wakes up. Omnic's patting the lead now, sitting comfortably at 8. He's managing to dismantle an opponent who usually gets the better of him. Aster digs in and takes this one from the ramp, showing some real grit. He really needed a momentum shift like that after the half. That was an absolute slugfest, but he's refusing to back down and closes the gap to within 1. The higher seed is finally starting to look the part. He's completely erased the lead, pulling a perfect deadlock at 8-all. A complete reversal of fortune from where we were just minutes ago. Aster secures another one from the ramp, extending his streak to 4. This is the kind of performance expected from a top 10 seed. He's just outclassing everyone right now, extending that run to 5 straight. Just total poise during these closing exchanges. Omnic answers back with a clean shot to keep things interesting. Aster is usually the dominant force in this rivalry. What an intense trade, Aster somehow survives that brutal clash to move within 2 of the finish line. That was another fight where he walked away with almost nothing. The tension is skyrocketing now that we've reached a dead heat. He's fighting for his life after those tough losses today. He's putting on an absolute clinic right now, taking control of the momentum at the most critical point. Absolute perfection from Aster to secure match point. A clean, decisive strike to shut the door on Omnic's hopes. Unbelievable! Omnic manages to claw back and force this series into overtime. Both of them have played so well that an overtime push feels earned. A complete shutout. Aster refuses to buckle, moving back into the lead during this high-stakes stretch. He's completely regained his composure for this pivotal moment. A clean take for the favorite, showing impressive strength as he builds this momentum in overtime. A scary spot for the underdog to be in. What a response! He's completely turned the tide and now he's just 1 step from victory. A wild exchange ends with Omnic barely surviving that fight to keep the dream alive. A massive lift in spirits for the underdog. He's refusing to let the door close, picking up another effortless point to keep the pressure high. What a finish! Aster secures the final kill and completes an incredible journey to take the victory. He's always found a way to answer when the pressure gets high, especially with those narrow escapes. Truly a gritty performance. What a match! Welcome everyone, Aster and Zeth are facing off on Mappas to see who comes out on top today. Aster dominates this head-to-head historically with a 79% win rate over Zeth, but these two just played a close match on a different map, where Zeth came out on top. It'll be interesting to see if that recent momentum carries into this set. Aster is really starting to pull away now. He's really capitalizing on that rank advantage right now. That was lightning fast. Zeth is reacting incredibly well to the early pressure. Zeth is fighting back, trailing by just one now. Zeth has definitely been playing with plenty of confidence today. Aster secures a comfortable 2-round lead. He looks far more comfortable than he did in that last set. Zeth keeps the pressure high. He's refusing to let Aster build any kind of lead. He's coming into this set with a good deal of momentum. Zeth has completely leveled the playing field at 4-4. The gap between them on the ladder is practically invisible right now. That was a fierce exchange, but Zeth barely scrapes through with his life to keep the streak alive. His current form is a complete turnaround from his day so far. He is absolutely taking over this map, putting up another huge round to push his lead. Aster manages to come out on top of this exchange to keep things tight. The higher rated man is starting to push back. Zeth takes a 7-5 lead into the break. I mean, he's playing incredibly well for a massive underdog. It's a huge surprise to see him ahead of Aster given their huge rating difference. Let's see if Zeth keeps this roll going. Aster keeps it close, trailing by just a single point. His recent history in this map should be giving him confidence. Zeth is putting in an incredible shift considering he's finished 12-24 over the last day. It's rare to see someone struggling that much with their overall form and still manage to control the pace like this. He's completely ignored the script today. Zeth still holds the edge with a 9-7 lead. Zeth really seems to have a blueprint for beating this opponent today. Zeth is simply not letting up, stacking up these rounds one after another. The number 13 rank just can't find an answer for this. Aster is refusing to quit, landing a perfect shot to claw back into this. That was a clean reset for the veteran. Zeth had the read on that one, catching Aster right as he stepped off the ramp. He's continuing to prove the pre-match favorites wrong today. Absolute precision. Zeth puts himself in a position to close this out right now. What a fight! Aster barely stays alive in a chaotic trade to keep the dream alive. That fight really went down to the wire. Aster is showing some serious grit here, refusing to just fold under the pressure. He is finally starting to find a way back into this. Unbelievable! After a brutal slugfest that left him clinging to life, Zeth manages to secure the final kill and the victory. He's really shaking off those bad results from earlier today and just refuses to back down from the champion. What a fight! Welcome everyone to the Berserk League. Today we have Omnic and Zeth facing off on Orange for a great match. Zeth has been the more successful player in their history, leading their head-to-head record 256 to 246. That advantage seems to be carrying over into today since he just beat Omnic in their very last meeting. He certainly has the mental edge heading into this one. Unbelievable. He barely survives that absolute firefight to move ahead. That's a high level of confidence following a string of recent wins. What a scramble. Omnic barely clings on with a single digit of health to level things up. His recent struggles haven't slowed him down today. Omnic pulls ahead, clutching a narrow 3-2 lead. A surprising shift in momentum given Zeth's hot streak lately. We are all squared up now at 3 apiece. Zeth is really looking comfortable today with those recent wins over Aster. These quick exchanges are becoming a theme. Neither of them is letting the other breathe for very long. Omnic really hasn't had the best time lately, posting a 12-23 record over the last day. Well, he's clearly making up for that rough patch by dominating the opening of this series. It'll be a huge test to see if he can keep this pressure up. Zeth remains composed, cleaning up the exchange to tighten the gap. The gap on the ladder is clearly narrowing as we hit double digits. Omnic is just relentlessly cruising right now, leading 7-4. Zeth had been looking unstoppable after those back-to-back victories against Aster. Omnic takes a 7-5 lead into the break. I mean, he is playing way above his usual level, given that 5-game losing streak he's coming off of now. We see if Zeth can adjust his aim to close this gap. Switching sides, let's get back in. Zeth keeps his head in the game, showing some real grit to keep this fight alive. It's a huge swing in form for someone currently sitting outside the top 50. Omnic is really finding his rhythm, stretching to 8-6. Quick reflex win there to keep the gap open. Omnic is simply on fire, pushing to a 9-6 lead. Both of them are playing with an almost identical win rate here. Zeth earns another point, refusing to let his lead slip further away. Omnic continues to roll, now sitting comfortably at 10-7. The gap between them on the ladder is practically non-existent. Omnic is really putting on a show here, making it look easy as he pulls even further ahead. Zeth is struggling to maintain that dominant 60% recent form. Zeth is starting to push back, showing that he still knows exactly how to handle this specific matchup. Despite his current rank of 33rd, Zeth still has quite a hill to climb. He manages to force another round, showing some impressive tenacity to stay in the match. It looks like he's finally finding some stability after that rough start. He's simply on a tear now, securing another quick kill to trim that lead. A massive shift in energy as the tide finally turns. A huge battle of endurance, but Zeth outlasts him to bring the score level. Just a total deadlock between these two now. Absolutely cruising, Zeth secures a flawless kill to move within striking distance of the win. This is the kind of momentum he's been showing all week. Absolute insanity, Zeth storms back to seal the deal and takes the entire map. Coming back from that deficit really shows why he's been on such a roll lately. He just had too much in the tank. What a fight. Welcome everyone, we're on Dunes for a clash between Aster and Omnic, with the favorite looking to stay dominant today. Aster has been completely dominating the head-to-head history with a 75% win rate over Omnic. And that massive gap in skill is exactly why we're seeing such a fast start for him today. Omnic really has to dig deep if he wants to turn things around. Aster keeps the lead, but Omnic is fighting back. Omnic is really struggling to get his footing today. Both players are trading rounds back and forth, leaving us in a complete deadlock early on. Aster holds a slim 3-2 edge right now. Looking at that rank gap, it's clear why the favorite is in control. Aster is extending his lead to 4-2 right now. He's looking incredibly sharp after that 28-7 day. He's just completely outclassing his opponent right now, taking full control of the map. Absolutely untouchable right now. He's just staring through these rounds. It's been a rough stretch for Omnic with a tough run lately. He just can't find an answer for that height advantage, securing 5 straight. The rating difference is really glaring right now. He's just in a different league right now, securing his 6th straight win. He's effectively putting on a clinic against the number 36 seed. Omnic answers back quickly to keep things interesting heading into the break. A critical stop for the underdog before the switch. Aster heads into the break with an 8-4 lead. I mean, the higher seed is showing exactly why he entered this match as the favorite. He looked very comfortable during that 6-round run. Let's see how the switch feels. Aster quickly shuts down that mini rally by holding the high ground from the box. He's showing why he's in the upper half of the ladder. Omnic is not going down without a fight, taking the duel right from underneath that box. Omnic has been struggling lately, winning only 10% of his recent games. It's really showing how difficult it is to build momentum when you're coming off a 6-game slide. He's just not finding the consistency needed to challenge the lead right now. Unreal, he barely scrapes through that exchange to put himself on match point. Absolute chaos in that exchange, he barely escaped with his life. Omnic secures a clean kill from the box to keep himself in the game. The underdog is finally showing some fight in this series. A lightning fast reaction there for the underdog, keeping his hopes alive for now. He's finally starting to punish the favorite's mistakes. The momentum is shifting hard, with Omnic putting together a 3-round run to keep the match alive. What a finish! He closes it out with a perfect shot to secure the victory. He really tightened up the screws when it mattered most. Omnic put up a great effort, but the top seed was just too consistent. Welcome to Red Line. Aster takes on Zeth today, with the heavy favorite looking to keep their dominance alive. Zeth claimed the early advantage, using the ramp to secure a fast opening round. Zeth looks ready to actually challenge the rating gap here. Zeth is absolutely flying right now, making things look way too easy for a lower rated player. He is just untouchable right now, taking full control with that third straight win. The head-to-head history is firmly on Aster's side normally. A complete shutdown by Zeth, extending the lead to a 4-round gap. He just completely dismantled Aster off that ramp for a massive 5-round lead. It is a huge swing from the usual history these two share. Aster finally answers back, dropping him straight off the ramp. He's coming in with a solid 29-7 record today. Zeth quickly reclaimed control, picking Aster right off that ramp to put the pressure back on. Zeth is really capitalizing on this confidence today. Zeth is really making a statement today, just casually holding that high ground to pull even further ahead. He's really proving his recent victory on Mappas wasn't a fluke. Zeth really struggled to keep it together earlier today with a 13-23 run, but he is managing to flip the script on his long-term rival in this particular series. I wonder if he can actually maintain this level of composure as the pressure builds. Zeth is just too fast from the ramp, shutting down any hope of a momentum shift for Aster. Zeth holds a shocking 9-3 lead heading into the break. Well, this is completely defying the history between these two. Aster just looks lost against his lower ranked opponent right now. Let's see if Aster finds his rhythm. Zeth is just crushing this, pushing it to 10-3. His confidence is peaking after that victory on Mappas. Zeth just can't be stopped from that ramp, and he's now completely taking over this series. It's just a repeat of the pattern we saw on Mappas today. Aster keeps things interesting by securing another round, showing he can still trade blows with Zeth. Absolutely effortless, that puts Zeth just 1 round away from a huge victory. Unreal, he barely survives that exchange, clinging to a tiny sliver of health to keep himself in the game. He's putting up a fight, managing to string together 2 wins to slow the momentum. A desperate attempt to close the gap against the odds. What a finish! Zeth closes it out with a flawless final play to secure the match. He's really completely flipped the script on this rivalry, just absolutely outclassing the top seed throughout the entire set. Welcome to the arena. We have Omnic and Zeth stepping up for a match, with Zeth entering as the favorite. Zeth has entered this series with an 80% win rate over his last 10 games. It's definitely surprising to see him shaking off that hot start right out of the gate. We'll see if Omnic can keep the pressure on as the series develops. He's simply not letting up, taking a third straight to keep the lead wide open. Zeth gets the better of him from the ramp, showing some real grit to get back on the board. He definitely has the raw skill to close the gap. Omnic is absolutely dominating the scoreboard at 4-1. He's definitely making up for that narrow loss earlier today. He's digging in now, refusing to let this match slide away. The higher rated player is finally starting to find some footing here. Omnic is really defying the odds here, especially since he just came off a loss to Aster. It's a surprising shift in confidence considering he struggled in most of his recent matches. We have to wonder if Zeth can regain his composure before this gap becomes insurmountable. He's just unstoppable right now, extending that lead to a 5-round gap. It's a huge swing for the rank 36 player. A complete shutdown as he picks Zeth right off the Tetris to extend the run. Zeth is really feeling the weight of this series now. He's just not missing, continuing his run right into the final round of the half. He's just completely in control before the break. Omnic holds a big 9-3 lead going into the break. Honestly, it's wild to see him this sharp after a 7-game losing skid. Zeth is reeling from the pressure and he needs a huge shift in energy to survive the second half. Time to swap sides. Zeth claws one back, but Omnic still leads 9-4. He's showing that map advantage starting to pay off. Zeth keeps fighting, but Omnic still holds a 9-5 cushion. A huge shift in pace as we head into the late game. That was a blink and you miss it exchange. Omnic just shuts down Zeth's attempt at a momentum shift. Omnic is making short work of these encounters, ending things in a heartbeat. Zeth is refusing to go down quietly, keeping himself very much in the fight. Zeth is putting together a real answer here, stringing together a few fast kills to shrink that lead. Zeth is simply on fire right now, taking another clean fight to keep this momentum swinging his way. He's completely taken over this stretch, putting an end to that run and narrowing the gap further. He is absolutely relentless, securing his 5th straight and bringing this series right back to a deadlock. What an unbelievable surge. He's tied the game up at 11-11 with a 6-round tier. A complete reversal of fortunes as we head into the final stretch. He is simply on a tear, claiming another effortless kill to put him one step away from victory. Omnic manages to shut him down on the ramp, forcing this deadlock into overtime. This puts his total head-to-head record right back in contention. Zeth takes control of the ramp to grab the lead back in this high-stakes overtime battle. That's a huge read to claw back the advantage. This is turning into a real war of attrition. Neither one is willing to give an inch. A brutal exchange of fire here, and Zeth comes out on top of the carnage. The pressure is absolutely stifling as we enter the final round. I cannot believe we're back at a dead heat. This has evolved into a total coin flip. The head-to-head history is practically a mirror image now. He's back in the lead. Omnic just puts himself one step away from the finish line. The underdog is truly making a statement in this series. Unbelievable. He survives a chaotic shootout to seal the deal and take the win. Coming off that slump, he just dug deep and found a way to outlast Zeth in this overtime clash. What a fight. Welcome to Mapas. We have Aster taking on Omnic in today's match, where the favorite will be looking for a solid win. Aster has owned this rivalry with a 75% success rate across their long history together. It's clear he's underperforming the numbers in this opening exchange. Let's see if he can actually put that experience to use. He's just too fast right now, taking a commanding lead early on. He's really feeling the pressure after that loss to Zeth. Aster steps up for the response here, shutting down the attack effortlessly. He has a lot of ground to make up if he wants this map. He's showing some real grit here, securing another one to close the gap. The favorite is finally starting to assert himself. Omnic holds a tight 2-round cushion as we start 6th. The rank 36 player is really holding his ground tonight. What a scrap! He barely survives that encounter with a tiny sliver of health remaining. It's a battle of wills right now. He's completely erased the deficit, leveling things up at 4-all. Omnic is really starting to feel the weight of this matchup. Omnic sneaks back ahead by a single round. Omnic is really putting that recent victory over Zeth to good use. Omnic is putting up an incredible fight considering his overall win rate is only 34%. We're seeing a complete reversal of the usual trend here. It'll be interesting to see if he can actually maintain this pace. We're all square at 6 apiece. Well, this is actually closer than the rankings suggest. Aster is staying steady, but Omnic is definitely punching above his weight tonight. Time to see who blinks first. Omnic just barely edges ahead, leading 7-6. He's clearly shaken by that prior loss to Zeth. A fierce trade of shots there, but he outlasts the pressure to even the series. We've completely reset the board for this final stretch. Omnic reclaims a narrow edge, moving to 8. It's rare to see the lower rated player control the pace like this. Omnic is just outclassing him, sitting comfortably at 9. He really seems to have the upper hand in this particular set. What a sharp response. He's showing some serious heart to keep this contest alive. The favorite is starting to push back now. Omnic just takes a commanding 10-8 lead. These encounters are ending in the blink of an eye. Omnic is simply too fast right now. Absolutely effortless. He's just one round away from taking the whole series. A precise shot from Aster keeps the dream alive for now. It's a high pressure spot for the higher ranked man right now. Another phenomenal read from Aster, refusing to let the match slip away just yet. What a finished product! Omnic closes it out, completely untouched to secure the victory. Aster really pushed it to the limit, but he just couldn't seal the deal. He's gonna be kicking himself. After a performance like that, he had to work for that. Welcome everyone, we're on orange for a great match today between Aster and Zeth. Aster enters as the favorite here. Aster really owns the head-to-head history here with a 78% win rate. It's a huge gap, but Zeth actually managed to take their most recent encounter in a bit of a blowout. We'll see if that previous victory gives Zeth some confidence to close this gap today. Aster is comfortably in the lead now, 2-1. Zeth has looked surprisingly sharp in his most recent games. Unbelievable brawl there. Both players were nearly depleted, but he manages to scrap away with the win. He's firmly in control despite those recent struggles on the ladder. What a scramble! He barely edges this one out, surviving by a literal sliver of health. Really lean on that experience advantage throughout the set. He's just unstoppable right now, racking up 3 straight wins. He's definitely making up for those 2 recent losses. He just won't go down. That was an absolute firefight, and he barely escapes with his life. Zeth has been battling through a rough day on the server. He's just picking them off one by one, extending the streak to 5. The gap between the 2 on the ladder is showing right now. Zeth responds instantly with a clean shot to keep things interesting. Aster has put up a huge number in the last day, coming in at 26 wins. It's a powerful start that completely erases the memory of those 2 losses he suffered right before this set. He is looking incredibly confident right now. Aster takes a huge lead at 10-2. Honestly, this is exactly how we expected the first half to go. He's making full use of his 75% map win rate to shut things down early. Zeth really needs to find some momentum. The pace of these encounters is just lightning fast. Aster is really putting the pressure on here. Zeth is certainly feeling the weight of that ranking gap right now. He's just too quick for the opposition, putting himself in a position to end this right now. He is simply outclassing his opponent today. A sharp response from Zeth to keep the map going. He has to dig deep to avoid a total shutout. What a finish! He closes it out with a perfect shot to secure the match. He really knew exactly how to play this map to keep things simple. Zeth just couldn't find an answer. Welcome to Fast Aim. We've got Omnic and Zeth facing off in a match that's looking very close. Zeth currently holds a slim edge in the overall head-to-head with 257 wins. It's a competitive history between these two, but Omnic actually won their most recent meeting. He'll be looking to prove that today. We're deadlocked at 1 apiece after a wild opener. Zeth's been a bit shaky across his last few matches today. Omnic is really putting the pressure on early, taking control of the pace here. Zeth is really struggling to keep it together after those tough losses to Aster. Simply untouchable right now as he secures a huge 3-round surge to lead 3-1. The higher rated player is really struggling to respond right now. Zeth answers back quickly to tighten up the gap. A solid response from the higher rated side. Omnic keeps firing, extending his lead to 4-2. Both players have been struggling throughout their sets today. That was a quick one. Omnic is just completely owning the verticality right now by holding that ramp. Zeth just shreds him right off the ramp, refusing to let the deficit grow. Zeth needs to dig deep as he's already dropped a few matches this afternoon. Zeth pulls off a clean look here, picking Omnic right off the window. He is looking much more confident after that shuffle. Unbelievable! He just levels the score with another effortless kill from the ramp. Absolute shutdown of that ramp position. Omnic takes a clean one here to reclaim a 1-round lead. Omnic heads into the break with a 7-5 lead, and honestly, this is playing out exactly as the data suggested. These two are incredibly close on this map, and we're seeing a total brawl for the lead. Fresh start for both players now. Omnic manages to track him down on the ramp, pushing the lead back to 3. It's been a difficult run for Zeth throughout the day. Omnic has a total of 12 wins over the last day, showing a decent amount of resilience. So yeah, it's making the gap in skill level between these two feel almost irrelevant right now. He really has the wind in his sails. An intense battle for the high ground there, and Zeth comes out on top in that exchange. Both players have had some tough stretches throughout the afternoon. Whoa, he barely survives that one. A complete shootout where Omnic just managed to edge it out. That's quite a turnaround for Zeth's opponent given their usual head-to-head. Omnic's pulling away now, sitting comfortably at 10-7. His slightly higher rating is starting to show in these later rounds. Zeth holds that window perfectly, securing another win to narrow the gap. He's definitely starting to find some gaps in the defense. What a way to stop the momentum. Zeth is just on fire right now, putting up a huge 3-round sequence. That was a much needed reset for him. He's certainly playing the role of the spoiler today. Zeth keeps fighting, securing another effortless point to close this gap even further. That was far too clean of a finish. Omnic puts an end to the comeback by dropping Zeth right off the ramp. He is really asserting himself as the frontrunner in this pairing. Game over, Omnic secures the final kill to close it all out. Zeth really pushed him to the limit in that second half, but it just wasn't quite enough to stop the momentum. Hard-fought win. Welcome to the Berserk League. Aster and Omnic are facing off on Italy with the heavy favorite looking to dominate. Aster boasts a massive lead in their head-to-head history with a 75% win rate. It's a stark contrast to the recent result where Omnic actually managed to take the series. The real question is if the previous victory gave Omnic the confidence to pull off another shock today. The momentum shift is complete as he secures his third straight victory. The gap in the ladder is definitely showing early on. He's simply too fast right now, extending the lead to 4-0. Omnic really needs to find a way to stop the bleeding. Absolutely crushing it. He's outclassed his opponent in 5 straight frames. A lightning fast response from Omnic to get back on the board. Aster has been absolutely lethal today, racking up 26 wins over the last 24 hours. And honestly, that high volume output is paying off in a big way. He's playing with a level of confidence that makes this lead feel secure. We just have to see if Omnic can actually find a foothold here. Aster is just relentless, pushing his lead to 7-2. Omnic is fighting back. He can't quite let Aster pull too far ahead before we head into the break. A nice response from the lower ranked player here. Aster keeps the pressure high, extending it to 8-3. That's an impressive showing given his recent struggles. Aster takes an 8-4 lead into the break. I mean, this is exactly how we expected this to go. He's looking very strong on this map, which makes a lot of sense given his 68% win rate here. Let's see if Omnic can rally. Omnic claws back one more, making it 8-5. It's a tough spot for the higher rated man to be in. Aster bounces back instantly, pushing the tally to 9-5. Omnic is showing some real tenacity here, refusing to let Aster pull away. Aster pulls further ahead, now leading 10-6. He's really leaning into that historical dominance right now. Omnic earns a gritty point, bringing it to 10-7. He's definitely trying to prove that the recent series win wasn't a fluke. A completely effortless flick to secure another for Omnic, keeping the pressure on. What a surge from Omnic, taking his third straight and closing the gap to a 1-point difference. The underdog is fighting back with everything he has. Unbelievable, he's completely erased that deficit and brought the match back to a deadlock. Absolute chaos right now. We have a complete reset on our hands. He just cannot be stopped right now, taking a 5th consecutive point with an absolutely pristine shot. Simply unstoppable. He secures a 6th straight win, putting himself one step away from victory. Finally, a break in the momentum as Aster claws back to 11-12. He's proving he can still compete even when the odds are stacked. What a statement! He just equalized the map and forces this series into an absolute nail-biter. We've truly got an all-out war for this series. He's simply too strong right now, securing his 3rd consecutive win to seize a narrow advantage. Pure class from the 16th ranked man in the league. He is completely out of control, taking a 4th straight round with a perfect response. He's absolutely steaming through this overtime, securing his 5th straight victory. This is a total reversal from that earlier encounter they had. Omnic refuses to crumble under the pressure, securing a clean kill to stay in the fight. He's showing the same grit he had in his victory over Void. He keeps digging deep, managing to outduel Aster yet again. The gap in ranking is barely a factor in this overtime. Absolute perfection there, giving him a huge opening to seize the win next time. The favorite is suddenly looking very vulnerable in this overtime. Aster finally answers back to take a thin 16-15 lead. Omnic equalizes the series, bringing things back to a draw. Omnic has snatched the lead, sitting on 17 now. The underdog is truly refusing to let this slip. Omnic is simply on fire, extending his lead to 18-16. He's playing with incredible confidence as the pressure mounts. Omnic is just dominating, pushing the lead to 19-16. He just went completely against the grain today. To outplay a veteran like him in an overtime fight is just surreal. What a match. Welcome to the show! Aster and Zed are facing off on Dunes, with Aster entering as the strong favorite. Aster has historically beaten Zed 78% of the time across their rivalry. That's a massive disparity, but it's interesting to see him shake off that previous loss to Omnic right now. We'll see if he can shut down this momentum before Zed gets comfortable. Zed clears him from the box to keep this hot streak alive. He's really turning the tables after that blowout on Orange. Aster is digging in and manages to pluck him right off the box. A precise piece of aim to get things moving for the favorite. That was incredibly fast, and now the tide is starting to turn in his favor. Zed is putting on a clinic, leading 4-2. Zed is putting up a fight, despite the lower rating. Zed is having an incredible run today despite the 14-22 record over the last 24 hours. It shows he's playing with a lot more confidence than his recent form suggests. He's completely ignored the historical gap between them in this match. Aster is back in the game with a lightning fast reaction. The number 18 seed is starting to show some teeth here. Zed is cruising, holding a commanding 7-3 lead. Zed just keeps climbing, now sitting comfortably at 8-3. It's it's a complete reversal from that 13-3 blowout on orange. Zeth heads into the break with a massive 9-3 lead. Honestly, this is a total shock given the ranking gap. Aster is struggling to find any answers against his opponent's pace right now. Time to switch it up. Aster shuts that down instantly, catching Zeth right off the box to keep the fight going. The gap in their overall rankings is starting to matter here. Aster still trailing by 4 as we hit round 14. Zeth has been struggling with his form today. Zeth proves he can deal with the height advantage, quickly picking Aster off that ledge. The underdog is really holding his own here. Zeth has a massive cushion now, leading 10-6. He's trying to find a way back into this one. Zeth is just one step ahead of him right now. He's really putting a stranglehold on this series. These last few rounds have been incredibly fast, just quick trades back and forth. He's looking a lot more like the 18 ranked player now. He's really clawing his way back into this, refusing to let the lead slip away completely. He just can't be stopped, knocking Zeth off that box to keep this surge going. The composure is returning to the higher seeded player. Zeth manages to outduel Aster from the box, putting himself just one step away from victory. Absolutely stunning. Zeth closes it out right there to secure the victory. He's completely rewritten the history books in a single set, finally breaking that stranglehold Aster has had on him. Welcome to the Berserk League duels. Omnic and Zeth are stepping onto Mapas to see who can hit 13 rounds first. Omnic is riding a strong 4-game win streak right now, and he's already got the mental edge after taking their last head-to-head meeting. Let's see if he can turn that confidence into a lead. Zeth fights back and we're all squared up. He's definitely playing to his higher rating today. Zeth edges ahead, holding a slim 1-round lead. Zeth is fighting hard to reclaim that overall head-to-head lead. That was an absolute war for control, and he comes out on top to secure his 3rd straight victory. He's continuing to prove his lifelong edge over his opponent. Zeth just completely took over, knocking Omnic right off that container. The rating difference between these two is practically non-existent. Unbelievable! Zeth has completely reversed the flow of this game. He really looks like the favorite in this series. A quick response from Omnic to keep things interesting. He's definitely fighting through a tough 14-20 days so far. He's showing some real grit, securing his 2nd straight to keep this fight alive. It's a tough spot for the higher seeded player right now. Zeth reads him perfectly, catching Omnic as he tried to hold that container. Zeth has certainly managed his affairs better over their long history. What a scramble! He barely scrapes through a brutal firefight to chip away at the lead. That was a nail-biter, leaving him with almost nothing left. Zeth really seems to feel comfortable here, which makes sense given he holds a notable map advantage over his opponent. Combining that with his current momentum, he's looking very composed. I wonder if Omnic can find a way to break this rhythm before it gets too late. Zeth takes an 8-4 lead into the break. Honestly, he looks much more settled here than Omnic. That 5-round run of wins really shifted the energy in his favor heading into the second half. Goodness, what a slugfest. He barely survives that encounter with a sliver of health remaining. That consistency is likely why he holds the overall head-to-head lead. Zeth is dominating now, stretching his lead to 10-4. The higher seed is making this look easy. Absolute chaos in that exchange, but Omnic manages to claw his way back into the fight. He's fighting with everything he's got to keep this alive. Zeth is making a quick work of these exchanges, keeping the pressure on as he nears the finish line. Zeth shuts that comeback attempt down immediately, putting himself just 1 step away from victory. Unreal! He closes it out with an effortless shot to secure the victory. He really put on a clinic this time around, proving why he's historically the stronger of these two on Mapas.